Welcome back. Now what we need to do is that we need to work on this edit button. So if user decides to increase the quantity of a product, we need to edit the quantity and the subtotal. So if the user clicks here on edit and chooses, for example, four items of the same product, we need to increase the quantity as well as the subtotal. How can we do this? To do this, we need to activate this button. So remember here in the cart, we have this edit button. We need to create a form here. We need to say form, and then this form I'm going to give it a method and action. So the method is going to be post, and the action is going to be cart.php. And then I'm going to remove this a tag, and then I'm going to create here two inputs. One input, and I'm going to give it a class called edit button, edit btn, and value. So the value is edit, and also we need name. So the name is edit quantity, edit underscore quantity, and we need another input which is the product ID. Input, and then name. First type, the type is hidden, and the name is product ID, and the value is PHP echo product ID, value product ID, value product ID, semicolon. And don't forget to close this angular bracket. And here the second input must have a type, and the type is submit. Let me push these two. And again, let me explain this one more time. This form is inside this loop, so we can use the value, the product ID value, and the second input. The first input is hidden, but it's going to hold the product ID. The second input is going to submit the form, and it will allow us to get the product ID and edit the quantity. So we also need the quantity itself. So we need to create another input for the quantity itself. Remember, the quantity is this. So we need here to create another input. I'm going to say input. Or actually we have the input, this input, we need to copy it, and then we need to move it over to the form. So it's going to be here. So this is the quantity. Let me save, and let's make sure that the HTML code is not broken. So as you can see, it's fine, but we need to fix the edit. So we need to remove again, we need to head on over to CSS, and we need to edit we need to open the style.css, and then for the edit button, we need to here say background color white, and we need to remove the borders, border none, and the width is 100%. Let me save and let me make sure that the design is fine. So let me go back to the cart page. So in the cart page, we now have actually a problem. So let me remove this width. I don't think that the width is needed here. So again, I need to go to the cart one more time, and this should fix it. So it has been fixed. Now we need to work on the logic. So here we need to create in the cart.php. What we want to do is that we need to use these inputs and use the post value of PHP. So at the top we need to add else if. With this else if, we need to push this code, and then we need to create another else if, and then don't forget to close the curly bracket and open it here. And here I'm going to say else if is set post, and then edit quantity, Why? Why edit quantity? Why did I say here edit quantity? Because here the form has edit quantity submit button. So the submit button has a name called edit quantity. So we need to use this to submit the form. And here we need to work on the logic. So here what we need to do is that we need to get the current quantity and edit that quantity. So how can we get the current quantity? To get the current quantity, we need to say here, we need first to get the quantity from the form. So I'm going to say here product underscore quantity is equal to post and then product quantity. Remember, the form has product, this form. The product quantity, it doesn't have a name, so we need to give it here a name. I'm going to say name, and the name is going to be equal to product quantity. So we need the product quantity and the product name from this form. So I'm going to say here product quantity is equal to post product underscore quantity. And then we need the product ID. So I'm going to create another variable called product ID. And it's going to be equal to post product ID. Post and then product ID. Now we need to access the session and update the product quantity. So to access the session, we can say session and then cart, and then we need to get the product the array of that specific product. So we need to say product ID. So this is going to return an array. Here I'm going to say product underscore array. So the product array is equal to the session cart product ID. Now from this product array we can access the quantity, the current quantity, the old quantity. So I'm going to say product underscore quantity. This now is the old quantity. This is the old underscore quantity. And the new quantity is this. This is the new quantity. So instead, we need to remove this old quantity and add the new quantity. How can we do this? To do this, we need to say we don't need this this variable. I created this variable just to explain how it works. All we need to do now is to say product quantity is equal to the new product quantity, which is this product quantity. So this is the old quantity. I'm gonna override the value with the new quantity. Finally, we need to push or add this array again to the session. So we need to say session and then cart and then product ID. Product ID is equal to the array. So we need to return the product array back to the session. So let me explain this code one more time here. I'm gonna add comments here first. We get ID and quantity from the form. And then the second step is to get the product array from the session. We extract that array, we extract out the array from the session because there might be many products. The third step is to update product quantity. The last step is to put back, to return return, let's say return array back to its place, inside the session. Let me save and let's test this code. So I'm gonna here refresh, and then I'm going to try to increase here. I'm going to try to increase this value to, let's say, 3. And then I'm going to click on edit. So as you can see, if I click on edit, now we have 3. If I increase this to 7, and if I click on edit, it's going to say edit here. It's going to say 7 here. So it worked successfully, and now this product will, the user will buy 7 items. If you want to make sure that the code works, you can go back to the home page, for example. You can go to the home page, and then you can try to go back to, let me go back to the cart page. So if I try to go to the cart page one more time, it's gonna remain here 7, because now the user has set the number to 7. The next thing that we need to work on is the subtotal. So we need to work on this later.